the issue of the old timers here. They look at themselves and they say, can I stay here? Can I afford to stay here?
That's one of this process is sometimes called gentrification, and there are winners and losers in any kind of economic and demographic change. And I think the old timers who get moved out, who suddenly see that the rents are double what they were, that may be a downside. But there is plenty of upside, and it's not just the sense of economic revival. My guess would be that the increase in the white population in a neighborhood like this, and as Walter was saying in Washington, D.C., where I live, is mostly young. And it does
voting age.
Yeah, it does reflect the reality that we are undergoing a profound demographic change in this country. As we talked about earlier, we're becoming a majority-minority country. I think for people, older people, particularly older whites, that is disorienting. It's not the country they were born into. It's not the way they think of America. For a teenager and a 20-something, that's the only America they've known, and it's absolutely, and the notion of diversity, rather than being seen as some sort of challenge, is being seen as sort of the wallpaper of their lives in the country, and there's just much more comfort with it. So I would take that as a hopeful signal.
And I think that's an important point, because I think there's a level of consciousness there that didn't exist in some of these places when you did have sort of whites and blacks living next to each other. And I think this younger generation sees it not as something peculiar, but as something that they grew up with. So you have young white professionals who don't have a problem living anywhere in New York City because that's the life that they have led from birth. So it can be an exciting change. I think the reconciliation part comes in what happens to the indigent population that's been there forever.